everyone's having a great week. And it's been an incredible first 2 weeks in my office. Obviously, like anything else, there's things you got to do, and there's things that happen that you don't expect, but it's okay. That's part of the challenge. I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way because I embrace challenges. And let me see, too low, please set the frame rate. Let me see. Okay. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the Paul Cruz Sales Agency Weekly Live. And I'm going to share, very simple yet powerful steps that you need to learn as an entrepreneur, small business owner, or if you're getting into the sales profession. You really need to understand these 3 steps, because I tell you right now, there's nothing more rewarding when you master what you know. You master your profession. It's something that keeps popping up. Too low for FPC. Okay, and let me see it. Oh, let me see it. So, anyway, guys, pardon that interruption. Just my first time doing a live on my laptop with my new webcam. But listen, guys, I'm all about keeping things simple. Sometimes the simple things are very boring to us, unfortunately, because we're creatures of emotions, We're creatures of wanting things fast and not being patient to waiting to get the things we want within time. You know what I mean? There's something that keeps popping up here. So I'm going to keep addressing it. But so here's the topic I want to share with you. And for those of you who are live with me, I appreciate it. And I hope this will be a very helpful topic to you. So here's the deal. And forgive the shadow behind me. I got lights, and so I'm learning how to do lights. I'm trying to learn everything. But my videographer guy's not here, but I decided to go forward anyway. Listen, here's the deal. There's 3 powerful steps that you need to learn. That if you master this, I promise you, not only does your value grow and increase, but your sales are consistent, your annual revenue increases, it multiplies, the profit margins, the huge return on investment, et cetera, et cetera. So let's get into this. The number one thing that I believe we all need to really examine and be honest and practical is about our skill. See, everyone has a skill. You got athletes that have different skills and different positions. Some of them are more valuable in that position than others, like Tom Brady as a quarterback, LeBron James as a basketball player. I could go on and on and on. But the point I'm trying to make is that, we really have to understand the skill that we have. Why is that important? Because it's our skill that's going to determine the kind of income we make or not. It's going to determine how far we grow in our specific industries. Whether you're a secretary, administrative assistant, you have a skill that's valuable. You have a certain skill that people need and want, right? That's just the way it works. So, you have to understand your skill. Why is it important to understand your skill? Because if you don't understand your skill, the market will determine your skill, and it won't be good most of the time. So for example, me, right? I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, and I'm a salesperson. But what is the number one thing that I do? I sell. I produce sales. That's the number one thing I do. The business, being an entrepreneur is just the infrastructure that allows me to do what I do. But I understand what my skill is. I do. Now, once you understand your skill and you can admit where your skill is, no matter what level your skill is, you can always make improvements if you choose to do so. And when you do that, now you're going to be able to grow. And number 2 is value. You have to know what your value is with that skill. Does that make sense? So as a salesperson, I have to know how valuable my skill is. Not as a business owner, not as an entrepreneur, because that's a whole different animal. But as a salesperson, I must know and understand what my skill is and how valuable my skill is. I have to. Why do I have to do that? Why should you do that and know that and understand your skill and your value? How are you going to know how priceless you are? How are you going to know what to charge, what you get paid? Right? I have to know that. I have to know if I'm getting better at my skill. Because the better I get, the more valuable I am. And how do I get valuable? How do I increase my value? I keep talking to more prospects at different levels, have different experiences that teach me certain things that I wasn't aware about. Boom, that's knowledge, that's information. Now, how do I use that is a different story, right? But a real successful salesperson, entrepreneur, and business owners understands how to get valuable information from others, from the least expected sources. And how do they implement that with what they're already doing? For me, as a salesperson, when I listen to other people, I say, oh, I could use that. Oh, that was interesting. I didn't know that. Well, how can I use that in my strategy? How can I use that in my sales presentation? So in order for me to do that, I know I have to know and understand my skill. I have to know what my value is in my skill so that I could become priceless to customers, to prospects, because at the end, the real value is in the relationships you develop. Does that make sense? So just think about it. You know, now the third one is you can have a skill. You know, you can have a valuable skill, but the question comes down to how do you convey your valuable skill? That's important, right? How people gonna know how valuable your skill is if they don't know who you are, right? Well, that's going to be the difference. You got to take action. How do you take action? Well, let me tell you how I take action. You know, a lot of times when we're on social media like I am right now, you know, we put some video, we put some graphic design, we put some content. You know, the whole premise is to get the audience, the followers, the subscribers to take action, which means to either comment, share it, like it, but more importantly, that they buy your services and product. That's the ultimate game, right? You want them to take action. To me, it's a path of least resistance. I don't wait for that. The call to action is not for the prospects alone, it's for us as well. Oh, my phone just rang. I'm sorry. Okay, so now, here's what you got to remember. Excuse me, guys. Let me just put this on. Okay, so for me, it's all about the action. So when you understand your skill and you know how valuable your skill is, now it's time to show it to the public. Well, the third part is you have to know how to tell your story in a very powerful, effective, meaningful way. And I don't want to hear that people don't want to hear stories, because that's nonsense. That's a scapegoat. That's a path of least resistance. We all like to hear good stories. That's why people watch movies. That's why people listen to music. That's why people go to concerts. That's why people go to parks and go to these ride parks and all. People want to feel and see stories. The professionals know how to tell their story effectively, dynamically, very powerfully, and they get people to take action. So if I know the value of my skill as a professional salesperson, I better know how to tell my story so that they could hire me over any other salesperson or any other coach or any other sales trainer. Again, business owners and entrepreneurs are two different animals. They can't always produce you sales unless you know how to sell. So if you know how to tell stories, or what I call the art of storytelling, and you can convey, your valuable skill, with these companies that he never thought was possible. Because here's the thing, everyone, you, me, everyone is always looking for value. And those that want to try to negotiate a low price and want the cheapest price, they don't care about value. Those are not my customers. Because Paul Cruz, I pay for value. I don't like to overpay, but I like to pay for value. So you have to be able to know your skill, understand your skill, the value of your skill, and tell powerful stories to show that skill. So you got to offer your valuable skill. You got to give it. You got to share it. You got to show it up front to everyone you speak with, everyone you're in contact. They have to feel that. They have to want that. They have to know and believe that you can help them, that you can solve their problem. For me, most of my clients' problems is sales. And that's what I produce. Because I know my skill. I know the value of my skill. I know what my skill or my valuable skill can do to produce sales, to solve those problems. At any level, it doesn't matter. Because the process is the same. The foundation is the same. The strategy is the same. My method is the same. And it works all the time. 100%. The only time it doesn't work is when I don't use it. It's crazy. But these are the three things that I've learned to master over the 3 years. Does that make sense? Because I know that for me, what I do, because a lot of people don't like salespeople, right? But let me tell you something. You don't think every business wants successful salespeople? Of course they do. So I believe that every business needs my services. I know that they need it. But they're not all qualified to have it. It's a big difference. That's my service. That's my value. That's my skill. And I know how to tell a powerful story so that they can hire me and buy into my services that will benefit them. Does that make sense? So just think about it, guys. For those of you who are live with me, share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you like this live stream, press the like button. And I hope that this has been helpful to you. Right now with my new office, I'm going to be putting together, a schedule when I'm going to be doing live like this, maybe once a week. I may ask people what they want to talk about, and maybe I'll do something like that. But anyway, guys, till we speak again, I want to thank you all for sharing your time with me with the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. Till we speak again, I'll say goodbye. But remember this. Tell your story very powerfully, effectively. and then watch your sales grow. Talk to you later. Thanks for your time.